We are so excited to have you here. Today, the class that we have really will change your life. I am Jen Hatch. I am the Director of Self-Coaching Scholars. I have two of our top certified coaches with us today who are going to teach us where overwhelm comes from, because it's probably not what you think, and what to do about it.
Hi, I'm Noelle Padachi. I am a certified life coach. I'm also a coach in Self-Coaching Scholars. Before I joined Scholars, I was definitely no stranger to overwhelm. I have two teenage girls. I owned a medical business. And then I was on the board of directors of a nonprofit. I was completely overwhelmed. I joined Scholars and I learned all about the model. This tool is really what helped me get out of overwhelm and bring so much peace back to my life. I am going to explain what most people think causes overwhelm. And then I'm also going to explain what really causes overwhelm.
My name's Dex Randall. I am a life coach, a school certified coach. I'm going to follow up from Noelle. I'm going to share the scholars' techniques that I learned to help you handle your own overwhelm.
What is overwhelm and what creates it? Overwhelm is an emotion. We think overwhelm is caused by the amount of things that are going on in our lives. But what I want to tell you is that overwhelm is never caused by what's going on in your life. Overwhelm is always caused by your thinking. My business, raising teenagers, holding a board position, those are all circumstances. They cannot make me feel anything until I have a thought about them. A couple of my thoughts during this time were, I can't do it all. I just can't handle this. I am just too exhausted. When I was thinking those thoughts, I was so overwhelmed. So there's 4 types of thoughts that will keep you in overwhelm. And they are black and white thinking, should thinking, perfectionist thinking, and thoughts that come from people pleasing. So we'll start with black and white thinking. This is where we're thinking in extremes. If we can't handle all of it, then we can't handle any of it. The next type of thinking is should thinking. It's our brain's way of setting expectations for ourselves. I should be able to balance everything on my schedule right now. We judge ourselves on these false assumptions. Everyone else can do it better or faster than us. And a should statement stops being helpful when it stops being motivational and it's followed by expectations. Perfectionist thinking is debilitating. You get so focused on the little details that you lose sight of the end goal. And it stops you from achieving what you really want. And it's, quite frankly, exhausting. The last one I'm going to talk about is people-pleasing thoughts. So when you're thinking in terms of like people-pleasing someone else, instead of thinking in terms of what you have to do, you can end up with this long to-do list of everyone else's priorities, and then you're not doing your own list of things to do. But just remember, it's not our to-do lists, it's not our social calendars, it's not our kids that make us overwhelmed. It's how we think about all of these things. It's the thoughts that create the overwhelm in our life.
The number one tip for coming out of overwhelm is to start taking action. Because when we get overwhelmed, we often think that only doing all of the things is the way out of overwhelm. We think we'll feel better once everything's done. I would offer that a better way out of overwhelm is to pick the most important or urgent task, or the one that's going to move you along the most, and just start it right away. Because overwhelm really it's kind of brain freeze. It's like being a deer in headlights. So just starting one task kind of unlocks your brain, because when you start, it breaks the ice and suddenly you're in doing energy instead of overwhelm energy. Let's talk about constraint and discipline. I'm going to define constraint here as a limitation you put on yourself that simplifies your life. It's a way of cutting down the number of things your mind thinks it has to do so that you can feel better. because that's really what you want, isn't it? You want to feel better. What if you could feel better just by making progress on that first task? So pick the one task, constrain to doing just that one task for the 30 minutes. Once you've got started, that's when you need discipline to stay focused. The very next thing that will happen, of course, is that your mind will try to distract you, because that's what it always does. In fact, that's what you've trained it to do. So here's what I suggest. Do not go back to deciding what to do. Stay committed to your one task, because what happens when we start redeciding is it's going to push us into decision fatigue, and then overwhelm just becomes even worse. Don't make it harder for yourself. Avoid decision fatigue by making a decision once about what to do and just doing it. Because the longer you stay in doubt, worry, and confusion, the less you're going to get done anyway. So the skills we've taught and looked at today to combat overwhelm, you can learn all of them and many, many more in Self-Coaching Scholars. You can become more confident, more productive, more calm, and you can enjoy your tasks more.
In Scholars, for those asking exactly how we do this, we do have courses where you can watch on your own time. And we also have private coaching, which all three of us coach inside Scholars and so many other coaches as well, where you can book a 20-minute private coaching session and come with all the thoughts that you're having. And we can coach you and show you where your brain is at and help you through overwhelm or anxiety or any other emotion that you're having. We also have daily group coaching calls, as well as our Ask a Coach section. So there's so many ways in Scholars that we help you with these things and take all of what we taught today completely to the next level. And I know for all of us, we have changed our lives using these tools in Scholars, and we so would love to have you join us and can't wait to see you inside.